Welcome to Hearty Vines, where we will discuss the topic of health today. We are in conversation with world's renowned nephrologist, Dr. Sunil Prakash, and we'll get to hear how to take care of our kidneys and overall health. He is a top doctor in the fields of nephrology, urology, and renal transplant management, and has performed numerous hemodialysis sessions and assisted with over 300 renal transplants.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil Prakash, for sparing your time today and talking to us on Hearty Wines. We really appreciate you taking time on Sunday morning and talking to us on important topic. One of the important organ of our body, kidney. I know it's an essential organ. God has given us two, but we've got to take care of all the two kidneys in our body. Audience, today we're going to talk to Dr. Sunil Prakash. He's from Delhi. He'll also introduce himself. But the idea was for us to understand how important is kidney, what is that we need to do to prevent any damages or any problems or any issues with kidney today. So welcome again everybody to the Hearty Wines. We've got one of the expert doctors from New Delhi with us. Over to you, Dr. Sunil Prakash. Thank you so much once again for being on Hearty Wines.
Yeah, Sachin, thank you for having me here. And I'll be so happy to talk to my fellow Australians. I've been there once and I have very good memories, specifically of Sydney. Trained at Kogra St. George Hospital for a while. So Fantastic. Back to the show today. Thanks once again, Sachin, to have me. I am Principal Director and Head of Nephrology and Kidney Transplant Service at BLK Max Hospital. It's a big 600-bedded super specialty hospital located in New Delhi. And I also look at Max Hospital, Gurugram. My specialty remains kidney diseases. But as you know, kidney disease has intertwined a lot of interaction with diabetes and hypertension. Sachin, if I may quickly diverge and to let you into what the kidneys basically do.
Absolutely,
so then
Doctor.
We can follow it up that how will they create
Absolutely
nuisance for us.
Sure.
You see, kidneys are from your inside. They are your cleaners. They are your basically filtermen, cleaners, or they clean your whole body from inside, from top to bottom. Whenever we eat, whatever we do, we breathe and all the waste products of our body go out through our body from two routes. Mm-hmm. The stool takes out the solid, undigested portion of our food, but all the rest, all the acid that we produce, and let me tell you, we produce a lot of acids every day. Nearly 1 millimole per kilogram for a man of 70 kg. So he's producing 70 millimole of acid. That has to go out of the body.
Okay.
Otherwise, the body will not function. Acids, waste products, all the nitrogenous products, all the proteins that we eat in our diet, they all are metabolized, and the waste along with excess water, salt, acids, and a nitrogenous product can only leave the body through the kidneys. Mm-hmm. So if in an analogy, in a cliche, if I can say, if your kidneys are not working, your body will be like living in an apartment in which the drain of your toilet drains are choked. So they'll not flush away your waste. We maintain a phrase called milieu interior. Mm-hmm. Milieu interior means the inside of your body is maintained in a nice, proper physiological way in which all other organs of your body work in tandem and synergy. So that is basically what your kidney does. I call them filter. They're the cleaners basically.
What are the ways we can actually take care of it? By drinking a lot of water, because somewhere we understand that drinking a lot of water, maybe put some lime, that takes care of it. It cleans our kidney, cleans our system. Is that true, Doctor?
Yeah, it's true to a point, but then there's a very old adage, excess of everything is bad. So between the two, drinking less water or drinking more water, you should be on the side of drinking more water. Then how do we say what is more water? It will depend upon your lifestyle, upon your working, what you're working. For a man who is working out in the sun and is doing some heavy stuff, he will perspire and lose water through the sweat. So he will need a lot of water. And on an average, we say about 2.5 to 3 liters of water for a 60-65k man should be good enough. And people who are working indoors or in air-conditioned places, there's not much sweating, will have to work commensurately. I would say you should respect your thirst. God has given us a fantastic mechanism called thirst. Whenever you feel a little thirsty, you should not quench it. You should not waste time and not paying heed to it. You must drink water.
Okay.
And a good way to say is about 7 to 8 glasses of water, which leads to about 2 liters of fluid. And plus, you need to remember that if you are taking soups, tea, coffee, they are also basically containing water in a significant way. So you should take a lot of water.
Sure. So most of us, especially in the corporate areas, we've got this habit of, pumping in so much of tea. I mean, I myself take about 3 to 4 glasses, cups of tea. People are pretty used to having a strong coffees throughout the day. Does it create any problem with our kidneys, or is it okay to take those many tea and coffees?
See, you have to remember, when you're drinking tea or coffee, two things will occur. One thing is your need to drink water will reduce because you are taking water via tea or coffee route. And the other thing that occurs is that they contain a lot of, especially tea contains oxalate, tannins, and coffee also contains caffeine, nicotine, and some other compounds. And some of these compounds have a propensity to form stones, kidney stones.
Okay.
So if you're drinking a lot of tea, coffee, and you're not taking enough water, and top of it, if you're eating a lot of non-vegetarian food, so if you're taking a lot of non-veg stuff and you're taking a lot of coffee, tea, and less water, there will be a propensity to form very concentrated urine, and it may give rise to stones and other things. So, not a great idea to drink a lot of tea and coffee.
Sure.
I found people who are very healthy and very famous executives, they are replacing their tea and coffee with warm water or whatever. They are drinking water all the time. They are carrying the water. It's a lovely habit.
If you were to substitute tea and coffee, is green tea a safer option by any chance?
Yeah, green tea is a better option than coffee tea because it doesn't contain so much of tannins and oxalates like tea has oxalates and it has a propensity to form oxalates. So it will be a better option. But I would still say put your money on plain, simple water, pure water. Nothing better than why even adulterate it with the green leaves.
Green teas, absolutely.
But of course, it doesn't mean we are not banning tea or coffee.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy my 2 cups of tea every morning, so I'm not banning it. But there has to be some kind of restriction. You can't just sip your coffee all day long.
Sure.
That might not be a great diet.
But coming back to the original concept where you mentioned about the acute problems of diabetic, the hypertension, how it may create a problem with kidney. Would you want to put some light on that also, Dr.
So diabetes and blood pressure are on the crescendo. They are on the rise. And when they are, you see, if somebody has diabetes, it is like one insult on the kidney. Now, as soon as he also becomes hypertensive, it is second insult on the kidney. At this point, if you permit me, I'd like to tell the viewers how would they suspect the kidney disease in the first place.
Sure.
So I would say, paradoxically, if somebody is passing more urine, we call it polyurine. Somebody is passing more urine, especially if he is passing more urine at night. Especially if he's a young person, he doesn't have a prostate. Elderly people will have some propensity to pee at night also couple of times. So a young person especially, or middle-aged person who is passing more urine, especially at night, another very important thing to remember is that there is a froth in the urine.
Okay.
If you pee in the toilet and you feel a lot of foam sitting there, being formed there, please be extremely worried. Because this means that your kidneys are leaking proteins.
Okay.
This is very serious business, let me tell you. If you can get attention right here, do some tests, you can save your kidneys from going to dialysis or transplant. So the other 4th symptom would be, especially in a young person. We know blood pressure is the disease of 60s and 70s, but a young person like 20s, 30s, he's been told that he has blood pressure. No, that's not good. That's not good. He must certainly take blood tests and urine tests, tell his doctor, and I'm sure the doctor will do it in the first place, but he'll do it once you go there, once you take medical advice, right? So if he has high blood pressure, if he or she has high blood pressure, a young person or in 30s or 40s, which is pretty young today also, must take attention. Then another important thing is a young couple who's unable to procreate or reproduce a baby.
Conceive.
So
Okay.
maybe there is
Sure.
a fault with the mother or the father besides the traditional faults, whatever they are, not my domain. But if the kidneys are not up to the mark, they will not be able to conceive.
Okay.
So many times a young couple comes to us that they are unable to take the family forwards, procreate, and we find that one of them have a kidney issue.
Kidney issue.
So there's another way. And one more thing is if somebody is anemic.
Okay.
This is very common in India. Anemia means you have less hemoglobin in your body. So your body is not getting enough oxygen. Because hemoglobin carries oxygen to all your parts of the body. And if somebody is anemic for no known reason, like he did not bleed, he did not have excess, she did not have excess menses, or bleed from gut or whatever, they must take note of it. And finally, if somebody has aches and pains, now this is very important advice. You see, you have aches and pains. I'm not talking about a pain for a day or two, but somebody has a back pain or some diffuse pain, he or she are not taking note of it. And then what will they do? They will take painkillers, right? Over the counter painkillers, they may take ibuprofen, they may take naproxen or name it. They are all available on the counter. I'm sure they are available in Australia also, but they are very easily available in these parts of the world. And these painkillers will really knock your kidneys. So your kidneys in the first place were injured, and they were telling you to take attention by giving rise to those non-specific symptoms of aches and pains. And what did you do? You gave insult to injury by giving painkillers to the kidney. So these are some of the points to recapitulate. If you're passing more urine, if it's a frothy urine, more urine at night, if you're anemic, if you have high blood pressure, especially younger people, and unable to conceive, aches and pains are some non-specific symptoms. And if somebody has one or two of these symptoms, they must do some basic tests.
What are the main reasons for kidney failure or kidney problems? What are those?
Today, the kidneys are mostly failing. Number one scourge is diabetes mellitus, high blood sugars. They are knocking the kidneys right and left. And the other big is high blood pressure. So diabetes and high blood pressure in Indian mythology are like Rahu and Ketu, and they really take the kidneys down. The third is 75%, 80% worldwide the kidneys are failing due to diabetes and blood pressure. Third important cause is the inflammation or the specific diseases of the kidneys, which we call glomerulonephritis. It means that the kidney got some inflammation, and the inflammation caused such changes in the kidney that the immune system of the patient himself are knocking those kidneys out. It can be, say, concerned something like an autoimmune disease in which your own immune system is knocking your kidneys down. It considers the kidney to be an enemy. So this is called glomerulonephritis. Then the fourth cause could be some hereditary diseases, some kidney diseases run in the family. Like you must have heard of cystic diseases like autosomal dominant polycystic kidney diseases. The kidney forms big cysts, they become big and they stop functioning. So ADPKD, as it is called, is a very, very common cause of kidney failure. Then other causes could be obstructions in the passage of urine, like in elderly, prostate, and in women, cervical cancer, cancers, stones, obstructions may cause kidney failures. And sometimes idiopathic means that in spite of our best effort, we are unable to nail down the cause. But most of the time, these are the big troublemakers like diabetes, blood pressure, glomerulonephritis, cystic diseases, obstructions, and so on.
Sure.
Bad medicines, taking all those kind of medicines without proper consults, even indigenous medicines, painkillers, etc.
So I think it is important for our listeners also to understand how is that we can prevent. How is that we can take some preventive measures. I think health is on the topmost list these days. Everybody focus on this, and some of these things just happen under the cover. We do not know, if there is any kind of problem happening until we land up at a hospital. The tests are done, and then we are certain now there is a damage to the kidney, for that matter. So how is that we can bring some lifestyle changes which help us maintain the healthy kidney, and if there are any problems supposed to happen, we can prevent it?
If I can say in an algorithm, if you can avoid 7S, S
Okay.
for Sunil, S for Sachin, right? Avoid
Mhm.
7S.
So let's quickly understand. I think these are very important for us to understand, Doctor. The 7S.
7S. First S is sugar. If
Okay.
you take more sugar, you become diabetic, and diabetic today knocks down 60% of the kidneys. Second S is salt. If you take more salt, you dependent salt dependent hypertension, and as I said, hypertension itself and piggybacking diabetes will really knock the kidneys. Third S is stresses. Stresses are really bad for the heart and the kidneys are intertwined, and the kidneys are also affected. They raise your blood pressures, and we call it cardiorenal axis, cardiorenal syndrome, and both these vital organs are damaged. Fourth S is totally avoidable smoking. Absolutely no. So, no smoking at all. This should be a big no. Fifth is sedentary lifestyle, couch potato. You come from work, you sit in front of the TV, you're eating chips, and you're taking a Coke or whatever, and not doing a workout. Very bad. Sixth is spirits. Spirits means alcohol.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not into banning alcohol, but there has to be some kind of a ration or some kind of a thought, because they give you a lot of calories and they give you pot belly, and they take away essential elements if you're just having your beer and not taking good vegetables and other stuff with it. It's not so good. And final S is sleep lack.
Okay.
If you're not sleeping enough, if you're not sleeping 6 hours, it's not good for the heart, it's not good for the kidney. So less salt, less sugar, less smoke, no smoking. Smoking is absolutely no. No smoking, no stresses as far as possible, and no spirits, minimize as far as possible. Smoking is absolutely no. I repeat it once again. And avoid sleep lack. And be fit. You should not be like not doing much. Be active. I'm sure most of Australians are very active and sports-loving people. Whenever I know of that country, they're very healthy. Yeah.
Sure, Dr. These were very important 7S audience for us to remember, and I think these are very simple, easy to embed into our lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, and make sure that at least our kidneys are not being compromised and not been ignored.